What if I told you there wasn't just one Celeste in David's story, but two, one alive, one dead, and maybe even a third? That's where the internet got hooked, because suddenly, what looked like a tragic accident started twisting into a disturbing obsession, and possibly a cover-up. The first Celeste? A 15-year-old girl found lifeless in the trunk of David's abandoned Tesla, a tragedy that immediately turned eyes toward him. The second Celeste? A 23-year-old woman who had been publicly spotted with David, smiling in photos, even interacting with him on social media. At first glance, people assumed the case had been blown out of proportion. See? He wasn't with a minor. He was with a grown woman named Celeste. But that excuse only fueled more confusion. Because yes, there really were two Celestes in his orbit. Multiple people have since come forward claiming they personally met both Celestes. One detail stood out. Whenever the younger Celeste was present, the older one introduced herself as Cece, almost like they were separating identities at parties. But there were cracks. A tattoo artist recalls the younger Celeste showing up for ink, only to be turned away because she didn't have ID. Why? Because she was only 15. Already, people were asking, why was David surrounding himself with two people sharing the same name? Coincidence or something darker? Digging deeper, the disturbing allegations started piling up. Friends claimed David would pull the younger Celeste away from group streams, keeping her private to avoid suspicion. The older Celeste? She has now unfollowed David completely, scrubbing her presence from his world. A silent but powerful statement. And then the whispers got worse. Some people speculated that the younger Celeste may have been pregnant. If true, that could have been a powerful motive for silencing her. Whether rumor or fact, it painted a chilling picture. David wasn't just tangled in one relationship. He was possibly hiding too. But then came the wildest twist of all. People started saying there was a third Celeste, a supposed inspiration for one of his unreleased songs, another girl connected only by name. Even David's car drew suspicion. Fans dissected his Tesla license plate, convinced it referenced Celeste in some coded way. And then came the numbers. He frequently referenced 885, which, when broken down, some believed symbolized the name Celeste through angel numbers. Coincidence? Maybe. But the pattern was too strange to ignore. This wasn't the first time David's name had been tied to troubling behavior. Back in 2024, a TikTok accused him of messaging a 13-year-old girl. That accusation resurfaced immediately after Celeste's body was found. Then came the Spotify playlists. David and Celeste were linked through mutual follows, curating music together. Digital fingerprints tying them closer than his fans wanted to admit. Meanwhile, Celeste's own family spoke out. She was just a kid who trusted the wrong person. Police are now digging through every DM, every deleted post, building a timeline that stretches far back. As the investigation grew, David's world collapsed. Festivals dropped him. His label cut ties. His tour was cancelled overnight. Even his album, Marcussense, was picked apart for its chilling themes of holding on to dead things. Lyrics that, in hindsight, felt too close to reality. One especially disturbing clip resurfaced of his mom reacting to his violent lyrics. She laughed nervously, but fans wondered, was this just art or confession? The more people looked, the less isolated David seemed. His manager, Josh Marshall, was suddenly renting David's home. Josh, who has his own history of working with controversial artists, became a suspicious figure. Even bigger names were pulled into the orbit. Benny Blanco, seen casually hanging out with David, caught backlash from fans demanding answers. The industry has since turned its back. Nobody wants their name tied to David. But the silence of those who once stood beside him, that silence speaks volumes. And then, the darkest theory of all. Some believe David didn't physically harm Celeste. Instead, they think he pushed her into harming herself through manipulation, isolation, and toxic pressure. His own lyrics fueled this theory, lines about control, love, and destruction. Chilling when placed beside the reality of a 15-year-old's death. Now, let's be clear. These are theories, not proven facts. But the undeniable truth remains. Celeste was just a teenager. She trusted someone older, someone with power, someone she thought cared about her. And instead of protection, she ended up in the trunk of his car. After the case broke, fans began combing through David's catalogue. One track stood out, a leaked demo where he whispers, "She'll stay forever, even if I have to keep her." Was it metaphor? Or something darker bleeding into his art? Another song title, "Only for Me," suddenly took on a whole new meaning. Some even claimed its cover art resembled Celeste's favorite selfie pose. To casual listeners, these were just edgy lyrics. But in the context of a girl found lifeless in his trunk, it sounded more like confession than creativity. The night before Celeste vanished, rumors placed David at a party in Los Angeles. Witnesses recall seeing him leave early, accompanied by a girl matching Celeste's description. Another claim says David returned alone, hours later, visibly shaken and snapping at anyone who approached him. No photos have surfaced from that night, but several phones were allegedly seized by investigators. Whatever happened at that party may have been the tipping point. The last time Celeste was seen alive in public. Shortly after news broke, Celeste's Instagram vanished. Some say it was the family taking it down. Others are convinced it was wiped earlier, maybe by David himself. Screenshots from Reddit threads show Celeste's bio once read, "Don't trust him if I go missing." Whether that was real or edited remains debated, but the timing made it explode online. Meanwhile, fans noticed David quietly locked his Twitter, deleting hundreds of old tweets overnight. The cleanup operation raised one question: if you're innocent, why erase your past? The Tesla itself became a crime scene full of chilling clues. CSI reports mentioned duct tape, traces of bleach, and strands of hair that didn't match David. Neighbors swore they saw him park the car days before the body was discovered. Others insist it was abandoned suddenly, as if he wanted it gone. Even creepier, the car's GPS history allegedly placed him near a remote canyon hours before it was left behind. Whatever happened in that car, it's not the story David told. Celeste's family has been both heartbroken and furious. Her cousin posted on TikTok, "She trusted the wrong people. We begged her not to go back." Her brother spoke to reporters, saying David stole her teenage years and dragged her into a lifestyle she wasn't ready for. The family's words fueled even more outrage online. To them, David wasn't just careless, he was calculated, and the silence from his side only made their grief heavier. In today's world, sometimes the internet delivers a harsher verdict than any courtroom. David's comment sections are flooded with people calling him a predator and a monster. Petitions are circulating to ban his music from streaming services, and even those who once defended him have quietly switched sides, fearing the backlash. In the court of public opinion, David is already guilty, and his career may never recover, trial or not. Right now, the investigation is still unfolding. Detectives are piecing together texts, Snapchats, and old recordings to lock down a timeline. Fans are split. Some believe he'll be arrested any day. Others think he'll escape accountability, shielded by lawyers and industry ties. But the one fact no one can deny? A 15-year-old girl is gone. Her life ended far too soon. And whether through direct action, manipulation, or negligence, David will forever be tied to her name. The only question left is, how much more will be revealed when the truth finally comes out? This story is still unfolding, and the truth may be even darker than what we know now. What do you think really happened to Celeste? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading through them. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next update. And if you want this story to reach more people, hit like and share it with a friend. The more eyes on this case, the harder it becomes for the truth to stay buried.